Hey folks, I'm Rick Lamont, and I am reacting to episode 3 of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I really like the first two. They're kind of, wow, overwhelming. I'm not too familiar with anime, but I am pretty familiar with the cyberpunk genre as a whole, and Cyberpunk 2077 in particular, which the Edgerunners series is based on. So being familiar with the source material has made it easier to kind of jump right in to the Edgerunners world without having a lot of familiarity with the tropes and techniques of anime. So I am continuing my journey. So when we left off, Lucy and David had a really intimate moment where Lucy opened up with something that she said she had never shared with anybody at all, and that was her desire to visit the moon. She had a brain dance of this beautiful and romantic image of, well, just visiting the moon, and where there's a shot of David and Lucy sitting side by side, a shot from behind with the earth shown in the background. And it's just a beautiful, quiet, wonderful, wonderful image. You know, a little bit of body language with kind of leaning and leg movement conveys so much more than a facial expression could. And it's those moments that punctuate the despair and the violence that are really, really appealing and make this show wonderful. But that ended abruptly with some absolute brutes basically telling David that they were going to rip his spine out, which is a crime. And Lucy was waiting for them. You know, she was, when David was brought out of the brain dance, she was just casually sitting there smoking as if she had been waiting for them and it was just all a delay tactic. So my question is, was Lucy just there for distraction to lure him in? Or was it that despite whatever she may feel about David as a person, not necessarily a romantic or love interest, but just as someone that she could open up with because he was non-threatening or a virtual stranger, or even because he wasn't long for this world? Or was it just that she was, well, distracting him, keeping him occupied until the rest of her gang could show up on the scene and take care of business? And, well, that's where it left off. And I have questions. Hopefully, we will get answers. Okay, headphones on. Episode 3. The yellow color really kind of sets the mood. It's very bright, vivid. It echoes the Cyberpunk 2077 logo and also David's jacket that he got from his mom. Use of color is fantastic with contrasts. And I don't know if each character is color-coded. And we're picking up right at the beginning. Dorio. Main, Dorio.
You hear that? Should just rip the damn thing out myself.
That's a crap.
Please don't get blood all over my room, all right?
Stay out of this.
Excuse me. I was the one who found it.
Okay, so Main's the really big one.
Now,
Hold on.
huh?
Supplier? You mean...
Gloria Martinez. That
Mom.
ring a bell?
Well, yeah, she's my mom.
Don't think for a sec that makes things free and easy for you.
Business is business.
So you guys are cyberpunks, aren't ya?
I'll take that as a yes.
Let me keep the Sandy, but I'll work it off.
Taught her like you can't boot it up without keeling it over.
Many times. What is wrong with his limbs?
Easy. You take me out on a job.
He's not messing around. He wants to stay alive.
Hey!
Chill. Just slaughtered a tracer.
So that wasn't an affectionate hug. That was business.
Then thought you'd bat your eyes at me till they showed. We're lying the whole time.
Sorry for your loss.
Animation's kind of stuttery, and I think that's the style. I think it originated as, I'd imagine, I'm guessing, kind of a cheap way of doing animation where you're repeating a lot of the same frame rather than drawing a lot of new ones.
Wonderful news, based on your exemplary academic performance. For details, please see.
Nope, not interested.
Kid, you're up.
And Main's the big guy, kind of the main guy, I guess. Ah, sorry. Unintentional pun.
Data wasn't lying. He is just a kid. Can he keep up?
Guess
Yeah,
we'll
there's
see.
something weird with his limbs.
Why do we even put up with you?
Kiwi.
This one here is Kiwi, and Dorio and Pilar you've met. Make yourself comfy.
My name's David.
Who asked? Let's get right down to biz, kid. Slot the shard.
Everything you need to know.
Say hello to Arasaka, court driver and bodyguard, Maxim. We're gonna swipe the nav data from the limo he rolls around in.
Yeah, the six-wheel cars, with two pairs in the front, definitely a thing in the game. I don't know how practical it
He
is.
always puts a fat stack on the butcher.
She's big.
Most peeps show up just to see her paint the cage red with some poor gonk's blood. This weekend ain't gonna go down like that. The butcher's getting butchered in round one.
Yeah, spike through the skull will do it. Jacked and Coke.
That's where you make your move. Few drinks in when he's good and greased.
The effect
You nab
of
the
him
key and hand it to Dorio.
just zooming with the from the Sandy is really cool. It's effective. It gives you an idea of what's going on.
That's it. Simple.
Hold on. His master's calling. Not good. Boss needs him there.
Shit, on his day off.
Data's not copied yet.
Fuck. Becca, trip him up.
Okay, Becca. Okay, Becca's
Hey, what's the fuck?
okay. Wow. Okay.
Arasaka ice walls are such a huge pain in the ass.
ICE, intrusion countermeasures, electronics, as I mentioned before. Antivirus more is the best analogy.
We're blown. Target's coming in hot.
Status.
Just a little more.
Won't open.
Time's up.
Open up now, you fuck! Start her up.
What?
Punch it, kid.
I don't know how to drive.
That's a
Time
problem.
to learn.
Although, in those days, you would think cars are pretty autonomous. Maybe? In the game, you could have cars come to you. If you own a vehicle, car, motorcycle, you can call it, which is really handy.
Drive like hell.
That's an intense look on David's face. You'd think he, at some point, would have played, like, racing sims, just because that's the kind of thing you stumble across eventually. And if they're virtual reality, I mean, not that it gives you expertise to actually outdrive people on motorcycles with pipes or corporal hit squads, you would at least have some competence, maybe. Not that a racing sim today would make it possible for you to drive with any competence, but full virtual reality at this level, maybe.
Hope you're buckled up.
Okay, that's actually a fair depiction of driving in Cyberpunk 2077, especially before they made some patches. It's like driving on ice. Yeah, the choppiness is really interesting. I know it's a style thing, and it has historic... it calls back to how things used to be done because of budgets and so on. But it's interesting. Okay, the kind of monomolecular filament that will basically slice through quite a few things. That seems to be her weapon of choice. The boss. A blade that pops out of your arm. Kind of rocket launcher that pops out of your arm. Things pop out of your arm.
Sorry for the wait.
That all looked very, very painful. Do I know where that is?
So we cool now?
Sure, welcome to the crew.
That's really disturbing and disconcerting. It makes me uncomfortable.
Still mostly organic.
Look at their hand size difference.
I believe I was clear when I requested
The fixer. Okay. He's the one who calls the shot, who hires the team.
So check the navigation data. It's all there.
So in this case, I think has multiple teams or is playing things in parts. Yep.
Unless you know the less
This
I
way,
risk. Understand
one
this and
person
understand
can't
it
scoop
fast.
them and go in for the kill. And doing it in, or partitioning it out between different gangs gives some isolation, plausible deniability, blah, blah, blah. Makes it harder for someone to mess up or to steal from you.
For now, we wait until he lowers his guard again.
And that's one of the problems with not letting your crew know.
Yo,
Sorry, but who are you?
Rebecca? I like her eyes.
I'm Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Bye-bye.
She's perky. Bubbles.
Mr. Martinez,
Yeah, the principal's got some pressure from on high. He needs to make this happen.
But I'm done going easy. Oh, and you can all kiss my ass.
I kind of get that, wanting to just, when you're in a horrible situation, just wanting to have the freedom to wash your hands with it and take a different opportunity. Okay, that was episode 3 of Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It was, a lot of questions were answered. I was really wondering what Lucy's part in all this was, what Maine meant by the Sandevistan was his. It turns out that he did indeed pay for it. It wasn't just that he liked it and wanted to take it. And David was going to be no obstacle. He did have some claim on it, even though it was arguably stolen in the first place, but he did pay for it from David's mom, Gloria. Very solid episode. This is the one that moved you from kind of the introduction of the characters, introduction of the scenarios, to showing where the story's going. So now David has a crew, or he's with a crew. He's a junior member. His first outing as the crew, he did his job correctly. The situation changed, which was beyond his control, but for his part, he did okay. He got paid quite handsomely. Lucy, I don't think Lucy was being like evil in this case, but going into this, she knew a bit more what was going on because from the beginning, she basically got the idea that David Sandevistan was the one that Maine had paid for, and Maine had been ranting about because it, well, went missing. Gloria was no longer returning his calls. So, questions going forward. Is there going to be a continuation of the current job for the fixer? I don't remember its name, where they want the GPS data. I guess it's the GPS data of the bodyguard for Arasaka executive. This way they wanted to know various places he's been to track down something. I missed it. That is the one problem with doing a reaction, is you end up talking over a lot of what's happening. Subtitles are very helpful for this because I can kind of read and talk at the same time. Talking and listening is a little harder. Talking, watching, and listening and reading is a skill that I am learning. What will their job be going forward? Will David and Lucy, honestly, they've got some pretty good chemistry. The rest of the crew, the one guy is, I can't remember his name. His limbs, his arms just make me uncomfortable. I'm sure they have some advantage, but I can't decide if they suit his personality or if his personality suits the limbs. And I'm not even sure if there's a difference between the two. That's it for episode 3. If you enjoyed this reaction, give me a like. If you would like to continue watching my reactions to Cyberpunk 2077 or any other series, how about a subscribe? I'll be doing RWBY soon. I'm assured I will really like it. So in the meantime, thank you for watching and have a great day.